We are live. Welcome to Digital Renegade Podcast. I'm your host, Dashing Rogue, and I'm with my frequent sidekick, Artistic Layman.
I tried to get the waiter's attention by blinking in Morse code.
Why are you blinking so much?
I've got something in my eye.
Here, let me get it out.
No, thank you. I don't want to die.
Jeez, what is that from?
It's from a song called Red Flag that has special animated images.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The premise is he's going out basically on a date, and he finds out the girl's favorite movie is Human Centipede.
Oh, which one? The first one or the second one?
Just the first one, I guess.
Oh, disgusting shit, man. Absolutely fucking degenerate behavior. Truly is degenerate behavior, that film. No, but like the first film was okay. The second one, apparently it got banned in the UK because they were frightened it was gonna piss off like the autistic people or something, or, like the portrayal of the autistic people. Yeah, but this is an impromptu birthday scream because I'm 33 years of age, mate.
Happy birthday, Dashing.
Yeah, I fucking. One of the things I did today, because I didn't have a lot of cash, and I'm just waiting for that next paycheck to start my next job, which is coming up here soon, hopefully. I got to go to Denny's, of all places. Now, do you know about Denny's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Denny's has, I've talked to various people, and a lot of people hate Denny's, but a lot of people at the same time, they like Denny's. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I really don't know what it is about Denny's that people dislike, because to me it's just been like a generic site. It's like legitimately the most generic place you could go to next to Johnny Rockets even, let's say. Or, God help you, Bob's Big Boy, which I would admittedly love to go to Bob's Big Boy right now. But specifically, the reason you go to Denny's is for the Grand Slam. If it's your birthday, they will give you a free Grand Slam.
Nice.
Now, yeah, it's freaking good. It's like the free breakfast. So I went in there, got my free breakfast. Apparently, and this is which really, I guess, shows how the world has changed. I decided to get the Grand Slam, but they really got me for $4 on the orange juice.
Oh.
And if that was the case, again, if I knew that the orange juice was like $4, because yeah, $4 is insane for an orange juice. Like, that is fucking insane. Like, what is that, from Shangri-La? Like, what do you do? Like, what the hell? It's a far cry from days like the days of yore, when like we actually had this. Like, see if I can pull this up. This is what I remember. There we go. Commercial. This is the commercial I used to grow up with. This is how I know about freaking. Yeah, this is a commercial. We're going into like some vaporwave shit right here. There we go. Now play that, Luke, and put it on the screen so everyone can see it.
The miracle of dawn. Peaceful, serene. But the new light brings with it the now familiar question.
Hey, is it still $1.99?
Yes, Denny's original Grand Slam is still just $1.99.
$1.99? Are you out of your mind?
Crazy. 2 eggs, 2 hot cakes, 2 bacon strips, 2 sausage links, just $1.99. Denny's Grand Slam from 5 a.m. till 10 at night, Monday through Friday, just $1.99.
Before they were open 24 hours.
They are still open 24 hours, dude.
No, this was before. They didn't use that. They used to do that.
Oh shit! But all honesty, I didn't even get bacon. I got like 2 sausages. I got 2 pancakes. Thank God, they were nice pancakes, by the way, and scrambled eggs. And I had to pay $4 for the orange juice. But again, $4 for orange juice. This is back from the 1994 when $1.99 was out of your mind, because that was insanely cheap. I mean, again, how we have fallen. Okay. Just how we truly are a fallen species. Oh boy. But we got a lot to talk about. Oh shit. Let's see. Okay, we're still good. We're still live. That's good to know. Anyhow, so we got a lot to talk about. So a lot of shit's been happening to Styx. Like, I usually don't. We're told by God to pray for our enemies, and I really do think we should be praying for Styx right now, because
there's a lot of bad stuff happening to him, apparently, from what you've implied to me.
Oh, dude, like some of the I'm not going to show the sources on this one because, again, the sources, I don't like linking to certain types of farms of the avian variety, especially the fruit farms, let's say. Simply put, because the shit that the shit that they're saying, right, is so like batshit that there's no way to confirm it until he makes an official statement. But from what I understand, he had a falling out with his wife, and he left his daughter apparently. And again, I say his daughter in air quotes because they don't even know if it's his daughter. That's what they're speculating.
Oh.
Yeah. Like there's actual speculation regarding that. The him saying he's in the cuck shed is actually not just a cute little fucking nod to like the term cuck, but like it actually might be a place where he goes and sits out there. I don't know. I don't know. We can only speculate. But from what I understand, like he fled the Netherlands because a drug dealer was coming after him, apparently. Yeah. So here's what it looks like, Luke. I'll send it to you here. See if I can pull it up here. This is what I would imagine it looks like from Styx's perspective. You can play this, by the way. I uploaded this. Yep. This is an old fucking. Have you ever seen the movie
Video
The Rocky
unavailable.
Horror? Oh, it's not available. Really? Okay. In that case, let me edit.
Oh yeah, it's not available.
Okay, then I might have to change that shit. Unlisted. Save. Try one more time. Actually, you know what? I'll send you a new link. Boom! Try that. Play that.
Alright. Oh, here we go.
This is what I'd imagine it would have looked like, because apparently he got his ass kicked by a drug dealer. That's the concept. At least that's the rumor around the campfire. Again, only speculation, but given what we're going to talk about more regarding Sticky Man here, because apparently he not only did he leave, but like so supposedly he threatened the drug dealer with Stolas, which I think is very fucking weird, honestly. Like that's like the equivalent of saying I'm gonna cast magic missile on you or turn undead. Like no, here's what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Play it, Luke.
Yeah. What do you think you're doing? Nothing. What are you, some kind of pervert? No, sir. I'm
Dick Hexenhammer.
He was a little leech. We got closer. What are you doing outside this morning? Listen, officers, you gotta help me. Mr. Swan's got my music, and he's pretending he doesn't even know me. He had me thrown out of the mansion and beaten up. Didn't want to buy what you had to sell, did he? He didn't say anything about buying anything. Hey, Jack, what's that he got in his purse? I don't know, Joe. Why don't you take a look? I think I will.
Poor Sticky Man.
Mr. Swan said he had it on
Fucking multi.
What do you know? Smack, Jack. Do you know what you could get for pushing in this state?
Life. So apparently he, like, I don't know what it is right now, but like, again, I pray for the man because he's having a harsh fucking winter. I thought I had a fucking harsh winter because of all the shit that was going on with the fucking dark side of dark side of tech, so to speak, right? But apparently, you know, the adjudicator got involved, and thank God it's a Christmas miracle. I can get unemployment from my previous employer, and I was able to prove that, yeah, I do, you know, they lied. They flat out fucking lied to these motherfuckers. I only got like one paycheck out of it from unemployment, but I was able to get something from them because they just let me go after 1 month, and you know, again. Chaos Marines, man. You don't trust those Chaos Marines. But going back to Styx Hexenhammer for a second. Not only is he having issues with his fucking his family, but I decided to ring up Stolas on this one. I decided to call up the Birdman of Amsterdam. And here you go, Luke. Play this. This is AI conversation of the Ingram of Stolas. There you go. It's also uploaded. It is surprisingly. I'm actually surprised at how easy it was for me to get this information out. You could start it at, I want to say, here we go. You could start right here, Luke. At, I want to say, let's go with at 6 minutes in. 6 minutes in. Just again. There we go. Play that shit.
To the Kiwis.
Interesting. And these Kiwis, Are they some kind of information network? Do they have some inside dirt on this Carl fellow?
They have information everywhere. They're basically like the CIA, except they don't glow in the dark.
Interesting.
Fucking
So
Spawn.
the Kiwis seem to be quite the resourceful group. They managed to find all this information on this Carl fellow, who I'm assuming they do not like very much. Is there somewhere I could potentially go to learn more about this Carl fellow, maybe see what all the fuss is about?
I'm not entirely certain if he has a site still, but you could always follow him on all the alternative media websites. And you could also subscribe to his YouTube channel.
I see, so he does have some social media presence. That's rather surprising. I would be quite interested to follow along what he and his so-called clankers are up to. Perhaps they won't mind me observing them from afar. Which alternative media websites do you speak of?
From what I understand, he's on Rumble, Odyssey, and BitChute.
I see, so he is active on multiple platforms. I will be sure to check out all of these alternative media websites where this so-called cuck can supposedly found. And do you happen to know this Carl fellow's username on any of these platforms?
I do, but it's a secret to everybody.
I see. I am quite curious about this Carl fellow. His behavior and actions sound quite unusual, and I would love to observe it for myself. However, you say his username is a secret. Who exactly must I bribe or beg to get this information?
Can't you just, get those horoscopes or something like that to find out where he's at? Isn't there some sort of white girl magic you could use?
Indeed, there is actually. Allow me to consult my runes, my tarot cards, and my horoscope. Surely one of these tools has some way of obtaining the knowledge of Carl Styx' username. Now let me rummage through my drawers and see if I can find one of these horoscopes. White girl magic, as you called it. I assure you I am quite well versed in it.
Well, that's good to know. Anyhow, what are your thoughts on this whole...
Pause it. So, I'm actually surprised at how well that turned out, Luke.
Huh.
I'm not even kidding. It was that accessible. I am not by no means an AI expert, although I'm getting there. It's getting to the point where I could literally have, Arya Stark or Claudia Black basically voice some of my characters. I'm actually considering doing the whole Samuel L. Jackson as the voice of God at one point. Or, fuck, we gotta get Morgan Freeman. We gotta get Morgan Freeman in this motherfucker. But, again, go to, I want to say, let's see, 9 minutes in. Or, 9 minutes into that same clip.
He has been vocal about his support for Russia's actions in Ukraine and is a staunch supporter of Vladimir Putin. His ideas include the creation of a Eurasian empire, which would unite various nations from across Eurasia under Russia's leadership.
You're very well read for a bird.
As a prince of the Ars Goetia, part of my education and studies involved reading and understanding political theory, among a plethora of other topics. Being well read is quite a valuable asset, as knowledge is what separates the wise from the foolish and the educated from the uneducated.
So, this Dugan fellow, apparently he is into chaos magic or some shit? He thinks the Atlanteans are coming to kill him or something?
A rather absurd theory, yet I cannot say I am surprised it is one which has been proposed by this Dugan fellow. It is not uncommon for proponents of political theories, particularly those of an extremist nature, to propose outlandish and nonsensical ideas as fact. In the case of this Dugan fellow, it seems that he has developed a deep-seated paranoia that the Atlanteans are out to get him. What is it with political extremists and their bizarre theories?
Damn it. I know, right? Can we just, put the fucking nerds back in the fucking lockers already?
I must admit that I
Westworld.
agree with you. This chaos magic, as you called it, and these bizarre theories spouted by those who are obsessed with it seem like a load of nonsense. And if it means putting the fucking nerds back in the fucking lockers, then I am all for it.
God damn! Oh, God bless America. Oh, God bless America.
Indeed, blessed be America, where we can put the fucking nerds back where they belong, in the fucking lockers.
What program did you use to make this again?
Character AI. I have the mobile app version of it.
Uh-huh.
Holy shit.
That was
And what I did-
impressive.
That is very impressive. So, I figured we put him up on here. Can you pull him up here? Like, can you get a picture of him on here, maybe? I want to ask him some questions again.
Of
Bro, his
who?
Ingram.
Oh,
Stolas.
Stolas.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna bring the Birdman of Amsterdam. Okay, so give me 1 second. What's up, Birdman? How you doing? It's live, by the way. Oh, fuck, damn it. Okay, there we go. Now I've enabled his voice. Get this voice check correct. Stolas Mark II. And yes, I name it after Mark's. Oh, hi, Mark, I should say. There we go. Enabled. 1 second. We're going to ask questions. I actually want to just see how far we can go with this stuff because it is scary, okay? Like, I know there are people out there who could probably fake Styx. Again, we're gonna go back to Styx in a second because he's had a really rough freaking last. We're just gonna have fun. Here we go. So, what's up, Birdman? How you doing?
That's fine. Now, please, remember your promise. Say it. Come on, say I love big black men.
What?
What did you promise him? What did you promise him?
I said, show me white girl magic. Oh, we're gonna have to wipe his fucking memory on this one. God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he's a faggot bird.
Right.
He's a faggot bird. It's not my fault. So you remember that Carl fellow I talked to you about? The one that runs the internet street gang? Well, apparently someone doxed him. Go that in.
I do remember him, yes. I do recall the fact that he runs a rather strange internet street gang, or cult, as he sometimes refers to it as. I must admit, I personally find it to be rather peculiar and a bit frightening, as they take their activities rather seriously and possess quite a strange dogma. Pause. So I gather this person that was doxed is the leader of this group.
Indeed. And that's, and again, it's amazing, honestly.
The local authorities about this matter? I feel that they should be aware of the situation, as doxing can lead to all kinds of problems and should not be taken lightly. Perhaps they would be able to work with the leaders of the internet gang to resolve the issue and prevent any further incidents.
Well, I mean, there's Tim Pool. Tim and the gang might be able to save him. Fuck. This is fucking stupid. I'm channeling him!
Yes. But Tim Pool and his gang to assist in saving the doxed individual, however, it's also important to keep in mind that the individual responsible for the doxing in the first place could be an entirely different entity, and it may potentially be more complicated than it initially seems.
Fuck.
I must ask you a question now. Would you please finally honor your end of our bet and finally say, I love big black men, please?
Fuck you, bird. Up yours, bird. Fucking bird, man.
Size, I suppose I should have known that this was a lost cause to begin with, despite your previous assurances. I see that your immaturity has not diminished. It seems that this is all just another pathetic and pointless attempt to annoy and disturb me. You are simply not a true man of your word. You are a weak and dishonorable individual who is unwilling to even uphold the most basic and simple of agreements. This is beyond sad.
Yeah.
Oh dear, Dashing, you've been told off by a demon bird.
It's a homosexual demon bird.
Demon bird nonetheless.
Again, he's like lawful evil. Like, I know they're all evil because they're in hell, right? But like, he's probably lawful evil, I'd imagine. Did you really expect a rogue such as a dashing rogue such as myself to keep my word? I can actually ask him that. Do you really expect a dashing rogue such as myself to keep my word? There we go. Let's see. Fuck.
Rogue like you, I at least expect a little bit of integrity and dignity, especially when it comes to matters of honor and honesty. It would not have been so bothersome or troublesome if you had simply refused in the first place, but instead you decided to make a pointless promise that you clearly had no intentions to keep. Shame on you. You are truly a sorry excuse for a dashing rogue.
Oh, fuck you, Birdman.
I'm afraid he's got you there, Dashing.
The bird is getting sassy with me.
Did you promise him or not?
I did not promise him. He's a devil. He lies. He you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you, bird.
You should tell
All you do is eat hot chip, watch TV, and lie. Fucking bird.
Some truth there. I certainly do enjoy eating tasty food and relaxing by watching some TV now and then, while I cannot dispute the lying part either. Even the part about eating hot chips, because I enjoy having a spicy snack every now and then. So, congratulations, you have actually made some fair observations about my behavior and what I do in my personal time. I am still awaiting your part of the bargain, though, so do not forget to hold up your end.
Fuck you and your white girl magic, you magical pixie bird thing. This is beautiful. This is fucking beautiful.
But you are quite stuck on the whole thing about white girl magic, and now you are resorting to even more foul language, as if to somehow mask your inability to keep a simple promise. You know, this is a true reflection of your childishness and immaturity, and frankly, I think it is very unbecoming of a so-called dashing rogue.
Ooh.
Oh. This is some fucking... No, it's almost like I'm channeling the motherfucker. Not to get too deep into like this type of the deepest lore and crap, but I kind of have become. I mean, from what the viewers can see, they kind of it could be seen that way. I don't fucking know, but I will say this: it is very interesting that this type of shit exists because now let's see what I have. What else do I have here? I was trying to get Ryoko from Tenchi.
Oh?
Because why wouldn't... Oh, yeah, I was trying to get Ryoko from Tenchi, but I didn't have the time to get to hunt down her fucking words. I did try to get Jim Collings in here, because I wanted him to be able to voice Dugan. But I want... So whenever... Let's say that... I actually give him, like, a voice aid so he could actually speak like a normal human fucking being. But let's get back to Styx, because this is kind of what it's about. Let's see. So, he was doxxed.
Oh, yes.
This is what I'd imagine it looks like, because... Okay, here we go. So, he was doxxed from Styx Hex and Hammer's channel.
Uh-huh.
Here we go.
Tedious.
So,
I was out for a walk, actually, with my niece over the last couple of hours in the woods, and it's dark now. And
walk with your niece in the woods. I have several questions.
Okay, what were you doing in the woods? Like, you weren't trying to get to Grandma's house, were you? I mean...
But anyway,
okay.
That's distracting.
Yeah.
Apparently, my home, there was an attempted swatting at it, actually, while we were out. Now, thank you very much to the county police, to Rutland area, as well as the Vermont State Police, because they actually called my mother. Apparently, somebody called in, like a warning or a complaint or something, saying that somebody had said that they had killed their wife in my house. And under normal circumstances, if you got like Metro cops or something like that, they're going to charge down the door or something.
Well, at least they responded. They didn't ignore it.
Yeah.
They didn't do that, though. So, to the attempted swatter, you failed completely. You see, the police here understand. Number one, the law, and number two, the fact that I happened to be there, and I'm assuming that I was the target of this particular swatting. So, in other words, somebody attempted to have me murdered. You have failed. I'm still here, and I will be here. If anything, this is going to get me to double down on my hate and vitriol against the far left, because you are all...
Why are we assuming it's the far left?
Why would it be the far right?
Why? Well, because they get ratings out of it. It's also the fact that, you know, he pissed off apparently a drug dealer, right? So it could very well be that his ex is trying to get after him, and he talks about this. Keep going.
You deserve to be exiled from the country. Excised like a tumor. You should be cut off and hung out to dry. That's the only way to put it. The right wing never did this to me. Fuck, I spent years as a Satanist, okay? I spent years saying, praise the devil. Did any Christian ever swap me? No, it never happened. I don't care if you troll me online. Perfectly fine.
Well,
In
fairness, I don't think the Christians know how to use a fucking phone system, let alone the internet. I mean, you could say what you will about the right. The right can't encrypt and the left can't meme, but the right can't encrypt. So there you go.
When you fuck with my family, that's a little bit of a different realm. Thankfully, we have an audio recording of the call, and it's been traced. And I have a feeling that they're using a call center somewhere in maybe South Asia or something like that, because apparently the person who called didn't sound like they were a Vermonter. I have a feeling that call came in from a call center somewhere else. Apparently, with me now, Sobiek, Marjorie Taylor Greene, other commentators within a couple of days before, I have a feeling that the left actually has like a calling farm somewhere in Southeast Asia or something like that.
The left.
They're using that to try to bypass U.S. law. The problem being that if we can get an investigation going, and I definitely have the clout to do so, and I'm sure that Marjorie Taylor Greene and others...
Oh, you have the clout now.
The Sobiek stack is probably a millionaire. We're going to find out who you are, and you're going to end up in prison for the rest of your life. Because, you know, it is going to be a thing. Slightly disturbing.
I hate to be the guy who says this, but, again, if it's from Southeast Asia, why the fuck are those people able to contact, let's say, local Vermont police? That's a flaw right there. Like... If I were to call, let's say, 911 right now, I almost certainly would either be patched through to Mesa or Tempe. I would not be patched through to Vermont. I would not be patched through to Tokyo Metro Police. I would be patched through to a local police. So the real question here is, why the fuck aren't they just blocking, let's say, the local, like any external number, let's say, that's outside of the county or outside of their jurisdiction? Like, that's an easy way to solve this, is just block that number and say, sorry, you can't connect because you are not connected to, let's say, a local network, so therefore we're just going to block you. I think that's what should happen. Granted, things like, let's say I have to change my phone number because I, came from 408, went to, let's say, 480, let's say, or whatever the hell it might be. But the thing that gets me, and I traced it, how did you trace it? How the hell did you trade? This really, he done goofed. Luke, here, play this. Play this fucking shit. Freaking A.
Okay, you guys, this is Jesse's Butter here, and
You
I
know
just
what?
wanted to say that you guys have ruined my life.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this is from her father. You bunch of lying, no good punks. And I know who it's coming from because I back traced it. And I know who's emailing and who's doing it. And you've been reported to the cyber police and the state police. So you better write one more thing or screw with my computer again. You'll be arrested. End of conversation from her father.
You wrote it, fucking gonna come and beat her ass.
And if you come near my daughter, guess what?
Consequences will never be the same. Again, I hate to be the guy who says this, but, when this shit happens, I don't know if he's acting on instinct or if he's just memeing it, but, again, I don't think anything's gonna come of it, because for all we fucking know, it's a state-run actor. For all we know, people are being swatted because they're ineffective, and they're doubling down and doubling down and doubling down. Now, for the bird, I asked him, you gonna call the cyber police? Don't be that's one of the things I hate about this. You have to always enable fucking voice because they just don't. Let's see. Here we go. Come on, don't be a prick. Fucking machine, let's go. No. Fucking bullshit. I'm sorry about this, but yeah, consequences never be the same. Or will they? Because apparently, he got doxxed again. Recently, even, in fact. Just within just in less than 24 hours. Now, I'm of the opinion that this is good because we need to get these people out of here. We need to get these cunts out of here. We need to make sure that these people who are doxing him, because again, I do not condone doxing. I think, or not even doxing, swatting, because I think I keep saying doxing. It's swatting. He's being swatted. We all know his name. He fucking publishes under his real name, but he's been swatted multiple fucking times in the last 24 hours. So the real question, and this is the reason I keep telling people over and over again why I hate swatting, is because people can die. There's always that possibility that people can die, and it's also you're wasting people's money. But the big reason why I'm against it is primarily due to the fact that, you could use that information to measure police response times, right? So if, let's say, Tim Pool, who keeps talking about this shit, like if I got swatted right now, I would immediately just go radio silent. I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't even acknowledge it's happening. And the reason why? Because the moment that they see the response time, someone who actually wants to hurt me or my family, they could then use that to calculate how fast they'd have to get in and get out and get the job done, whether it be to kill fucking Styx or me or whomever, right? So this is one of those times where I would say, as much as you want to scream and yell like, oh my god, I was doxxed, they came in with fucking AR-15s and all this other shit, right? You just don't say anything. It's better this way, just not to say anything. Let's see, Mitch. Consequences will never be the same. By the way, we're going to get Mitch on at some point. Let's see. What else we got here? Alrighty, what else we got here? Because, again, okay, here we go. Here's one for you, Luke. So this is how you take on. This is how you troll back the fucking Satanic Temple. This is actually a very good troll, masterful troll by Jim Bob. Apparently, this is one of the guys who Owen Benjamin does not like. Here we go.
Satan's little school.
Thank you for calling my picture of the schools. My name is Elrita. May I have your first and last name, please?
Hi, my name's Jim. Logan.
How may I assist you today?
I had a question about one of the after-school programs.
Yes, sir.
I saw a flyer for the after-school Satan Club. Could you tell me a little bit about that and maybe how long it is?
Okay. I'm going to read what it was sent to the parents, okay?
Okay.
That will give you more understanding.
Sure.
We understand that some of you have questions regarding the recent approval of facility rental to the Satanic Temple, a federally recognized non-profit organization. As a public school district, we're committed to upholding the principles of the First Amendment, which guarantees equal access to all non-profit organizations seeking to use our facilities after school hours. This means we cannot approve or deny an organization's request based solely on a
You don't actually have to read the rest.
Wait, what was that?
She's basically regurgitating, hey, DZ, how you doing? Hurry up with it, mate. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to get Mitch on in the next month. That's something I've already promised him back in November. It's coming into the new year. I got to get him on at some point. So we're gonna have to get Mitch on at some point in the near future. But what we was basically what she was saying is she's saying, oh well, you want information, and she just regurgitates this, this HR talking point of, oh well, they have a right to do it, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, yada yada yada, and he starts going at him in the correct way. Watch this.
Because I was looking to actually sign up. I'm not. I just wanted to know if there was any rituals they were going to do. I wanted to know if if there was any sort of intent or rituals going on, because my daughter's really interested in that, and I don't want to waste time by signing up if there's not like a ritual.
Okay, we don't have any information about what are they going to do there. We just know that they are going to have an activity that day.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have any information about what are they going to do.
Okay, do you have a contact to who's putting on the event and sponsoring it, so I can ask them?
I don't have any information, sir.
Oh, so you guys approved a thing, but we can't. I mean, if there's no information about it.
Well, the facility planning, that's the department that is in charge of renting facilities.
Oh, okay.
They might have that information there. We are the call center.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate because before I sign up, I want, my daughter is like, Daddy, can we do some of the rituals we read in the book? And I'm like, well, this might be an opportunity here with the flyer and everything, but you don't have any information. So I don't know if to bring fluids. I don't even know what to bring. Is there anyone who could tell me if I should bring any kind of organic matter, like at all?
As it says on what I just read, we don't have part of it, so we don't have any information about what to bring, what not to bring, what is it about, or anything, sir. I'm sorry, I apologize.
Are you going?
No, sir. Mm-mm.
Why not?
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm just doing my job here. I don't think I have to answer that question for you. It doesn't have nothing to do for what I believe or what I not believe.
Yeah. You know who else was doing their job? You know who else was just doing their job? You should quit if you don't believe in what they're doing. Get out of here.
That's how you deal with it. That is exactly how you deal with it. Fucking bureaucrats. Oh, should we bring organic matter? And you start being very vague with this shit. Because for all you know, they're gonna open up and vivisect the fucking goat or something. You don't know. For all you know, it's gonna be like Drag Queen Story Hour all over again, given the fact that these assholes have basically just been pushing this shit and basically enabling it. You have no idea. But oh my god, we don't want to be bigots. Birdman. Fucking thoughts on After School Satan Club. God damn it. Why can't you just fucking keep your voice? Here we go. Channeling. Fucking get the bunny ears out. It's like fucking Max and Sam and Max when he was possessed. Ugh. Come on. Damn it. Fucking channeling. Ugh. Maybe it's DTV channeling. I don't know. Anyhow. Well, Birdman is queuing up because that's what we have to do because he's a fucking weirdo. There we go. Come on, Birdman. You know better. Come on, Birdman. Anyway.
I must say I find the concept of a Satan club rather amusing. I do believe most people within these clubs are simply rebelling against the system, and that's quite fine. But there's always the concern that an imp would infiltrate the club and cause mischief, so I'd be wary about it.
Well said, Birdman. Well said. Anyhow, let's get on to pirates in Iran. Because that's a fucking transition if I ever fucking saw one. So, remember how I told you about the whole Suez Canal and why we're basically defending Israel, right?
Right.
Well, apparently, it's becoming more and more of a hot topic as of late, especially with Bill Whittle, which, again, I would rather have Bill Whittle raised to prominence than Styx, just because Bill Whittle has been doing this long enough. He's earned his watch, let's say. There we go. And apparently those fucking pirates are PMCs backed by Iran to raid ships that go through the Red Sea in the Suez Canal. And they're basically attacking Israel, trying to deprive them of resources and whatnot. That's the excuse, at least. But now we have we literally are back in the time of Islamic pirates with AKs and shit. It's crazy, dude. Like, here you go. Look, send it to you. Take a look at it.
Well, based on what we've been seeing in the last few weeks, it looks like 2024 is shaping up to be International Act Like a Pirate Year, and there's nothing funny about that at all. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Whittle here with Steve Green and Scott Ott, and this particular episode of Right Angle has some actual data in it, so I'm going to have to put on my cogitation spectacles here. Gentlemen, there's a group of pirates. They've been operating off the coast of Somalia for quite a while, but now there's a group specifically known as the Houthis. And the Houthis are backed by Iran, and they're no longer coming after these shipping container boats or whatever the case may be on these wooden speedboats with high-powered outboard motors. They're coming in by helicopter, and they are landing on these...
Helicopter?
Yeah, the fuckers have, they have helicopters now. Like, they've upgraded their arsenal. They're no longer just, Ilhan Omar's, half-brother from fucking Somalia, right? Now they have actual, gunships and shit. Fucking A.
Wow.
Ships armed with AK-47s and something that looks quite a bit like a uniform. They're scouting out these ships in...
Are they actually... Is this a test or are they recording them doing this?
They're Muslims, dude. They want to get that they care a hell of a lot about what people think of them, so they have to make themselves look cooler than they actually are.
Oh, like the Scientologists.
Yeah. Birdman, thoughts on Islamic pirates? Come on, Birdman.
I must say this is a rather silly idea, but that certainly doesn't make it any less interesting. I see the potential for disaster, however, as it would be rather easy for me to imagine a fleet of Islamic pirates getting into a bit of drunken debauchery. It certainly would provide some humorous entertainment, but I fear for anybody who would be caught on their ships.
Yeah.
Advanced with drones. And basically, what is happening is the Houthis are being paid by Iran to raid the world shipping in order to protest the so-called Israeli atrocities in Gaza after Hamas committed actual atrocities and so on. So we actually have a genuine, honest-to-God pirate.
Why are we not allowed to shoot these people down?
Because you're not allowed to carry guns and bear arms on the open sea.
But the pirates are doing that.
Yeah, well, they're pirate, but here's the thing: they're defending against the evil terrorist state Israel. Don't you know?
That is stupid.
It is stupid.
Mercy situation here again. Steve, why don't we start with you? The response of the international community, the response of the West, which has provided the most incomparably powerful economic, military, philosophical, and moral force in the history of the world, has been to realize that these attacks are taking place in the Red Sea, in the Indian Ocean, on the other side, on the south side of the Suez Canal. And so the answer that the West has provided in all of its might and glory is to no longer use the Suez Canal, but rather to sail around Africa, which is an additional 5,000 miles or so and adds approximately 20 days to the voyage. You'll be interested to know, Steve, if you don't know already, that really advanced forward-thinking Nazi war planners during World War II realized that the way to beat Britain was to control the Suez Canal, because if you have to make English shipping go around Africa, you are essentially cutting the amount of ships available by 4/5. So, yes, that's what we're doing, Steve. We're no longer dealing with these this ragtag group of pirates like we were grown-ups. We are rerouting the world shipping around Africa, going an additional 5,000 miles at 20 knots, raising the prices of all of our goods because I guess we just don't want to be mean to the pirates.
Yeah, well, we're doing a couple of things.
Yeah, you don't want to be mean to the pirates, Luke.
There's a lot to say.
They're just trying to make a shekel or two, quite literally in this regard. The whole reason why they're doing this is specifically because they don't like the fact that Israel, the whole reason it was created to begin with the whole UK, was to protect the Suez Canal. That's the whole reason. And now that they're going around it, well, if enough people agree that, hey, yeah, let's go around let's go around the Horn of Africa because that's really smart, right? Even though it'll take like 2 or 3 weeks extra, right? Depending on the oceans and the seas and whatnot. It could very well. This could be dangerous for Israel. It could be dangerous not just for that, but it also could make everything go up in price.
Ugh.
So I'm asking
it's another 20 days of travel and expenses.
Would you? There we go. Let's see it. Would you rather travel around Africa, or go through the Suez Canal facing pirates? Channeling the Birdman.
Rather unpleasant. The Suez Canal facing pirates may take my ship and my life, while the travel around Africa may have some rather unpleasant terrain and wildlife. I'd have to say I'd rather go with the Suez Canal, as I believe my ship and crew may be able to fend off the pirates. It would be much quicker than circumnavigating the entirety of Africa, and a bit more entertaining.
Fucking bird. Based bird. Fucking based bird. Fuck. I kind of want to get like that one. I want to get like an image of myself like channeling the fucking these I guess engrams or whatever the fuck you want to call them. These AIs. Like, you know, that's that scene in like Courage the Cowardly Dog where they have like that voodoo lady, and like every time she's channeling, it's like a fucking like a weighting like a tone, like a dial tone. Remember that shit?
Yep.
I don't know. That's sort of how I feel. That's I gotta have that like. I don't know. Keep playing it.
Just a quick correction. The Somali pirates have been a problem for, I don't know, 20 years or something now. The Houthis are actually out of Yemen. They're the
That's right. That's correct. They're not the Somalis. Different group.
Yeah, and I mean, they're basically a wholly owned subsidiary of the Iranian mullahs, as you said. And we've got 1 or 2 Arleigh Burkes, and I think there's a British ship in the Red Sea too, and they've done a spectacular job so far of shooting down some of these incoming missiles that the Houthis have been launching. But the shipping companies all know that it's just like the IRA said after they barely missed killing Margaret Thatcher in the Bristol Hotel bombing in 1984. They released a statement saying, we only have to get lucky once. You have to be lucky every time. And it doesn't take a whole lot of missiles, even ones that are shot down, for the shipping companies or BP, British Petroleum, to say, yeah, we're just
Should
not
we
going to
be
say
using
it's not just the Somali pirates. It's
ICBMs and Stinger missiles to take down the pirates? Let's figure this out. Fucking bird. Oh.
Certainly be devastating to the pirates and cause them to leave rather promptly. I must say using such dangerous weaponry for little more than a few plunderers is a bit unwarranted. The risk of such weaponry is that it may go off course and possibly harm nearby shipping vessels or even villages and towns, not to mention the environmental damage such an attack may cause. I'd try to be a little less destructive on the matter.
So basically just send in operators like Delta Force. Fucking.
It seems to be that a strike team of highly trained, well-armed military operators would be much more effective at dealing with the pirates, rather than simply using missile strikes. The danger of missile strikes is that they would be very likely to cause quite a lot of collateral damage and possibly start a war over a small group of rebels. So in this scenario, yes, sending an operations unit like those of Delta Force would be a much smarter and safer route to take to deal with this situation.
Thank you, bitch. Fucking bird. Take your sweet ass time, bird. Fucking cucked bird. Anyhow. But yeah. Things are gonna heat up here in 2024. I really do think it's gonna. We are in the warring 2020s, so to speak. I mean, a lot of this is Joe Biden's fault. A lot of it is Joe Biden's fault, and a lot of it is just the fact that people don't know how to lead anymore, and the people who want to lead are not allowed to actually rise above. Fucking, say what you will about fucking Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. At least she actually is being groomed by the left to become the next freaking the hell you call her name? Oh, not Chuck Schumer. What the hell is his name? One of the females. That Barbara Boxer. Who the fuck is it? Dianne Feinstein. That bitch. Yeah. They're being groomed to be that type of person. That type of Democrat, career politician. Anyhow. Thoughts on any of this, Luke?
Not much.
Happy Kwanzaa, indeed. That cloth. Yeah. Let's see. Alrighty, so speaking of the undead and whatnot, we lost somebody today. Besides it being my birthday, Gaston Glock, the Lich Man who built a bunch of Horcruxes and whatnot. He died at 94. That's what it looks like. And if you've ever fired a Glock before, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe. Here we go. And there's a reason why. That we call him the Lich Man, because every time why he needs so many different variants of the same gun is because every time he makes a new variant of the gun, a piece of his soul is put inside of that freaking artifact, and it helps him live forever. Just want to let you know that. It's like a phylactery or a fucking rectory, so to speak. But he truly is living forever now, even though he's technically died. He'll be back in like 3 days or so. Can't really kill a Lich unless you kill his phylactery. And we all know you can't kill Glocks, now can you? You can't kill Glocks. What else do we got here? What else do we have? Alrighty. Okay, here's one for you. So, you sent me this over the week. The disgusting, degenerate lives of the rich people. Of rich kids, more specifically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jake Translate's video.
Oh, Drake Tran, yeah. Is it Tran?
I'm going to be participating in his faceless video contest to see if it works.
Hopefully it does work, but I'll tell you this right now, I really do believe that if anyone offers you a step up in the world, the chances are that they have alternative motives, so to speak.
Which is something Jake actually complains about, which is a bit ironic.
Again, I really do think this is like Dan Penna, so to speak.
Like a bit of green light. Some the money, some the drugs, others the sex game, the glamour, or the fame.
Kid who has everything. Parties. Super young. I'm going to inherit more money than most people can earn or spend in a lifetime.
It'll be a low estimate, a very low estimate from you, say 20 billion.
Growing up rich is the dream. Your parents buy you anything you want, you go to the best schools, you only hang out with other rich kids, you get to party with all the right people. As a rich
To be fair, it's only a dream for people who've never been born rich.
It's also the fact that here's the thing. I really don't care about the rich kids. I personally want to just rip them off and plunder them. I mean, I'm at the point where I'm thinking, let's go full Raggy Redbeard, not to bring up the whole pirate thing, right? But let's go full Raggy Redbeard and just start conning these cunts, because these are the type of people that academia was built for. These are the type of people who will become the next activists, so to speak. Because they had nothing better to do. All their food and all their means of survival are provided for them, right? And so what do they have? A bunch of mental illnesses and shit, which I'll just say right now, they're not mentally ill. They're just being diagnosed more. Keep going.
Could you never experience any hardship? Life is as good as it gets, or is it?
I've always hated how just because someone is born into a family of wealth, people automatically label them as a spoiled brat. Yes, my dad has a private jet, and I love flying in it. Yes, my dad has a mansion and cars, and I love making videos with them. Who wouldn't? But I've never pretended that those things were something that I heard. Just to give people context. Okay,
You're so kawaii.
I was born in one of
He's so kawaii. That's the little frickin'. Look at that. Look at that right there. Kawaii. Look at the little frickin' blush. I don't know. Yeah,
just to give people context, okay, so I was born in one of the poorest countries in the world, and then I grew up in one of the poorest communities in the United States. I'm fully aware of the criticism, and I've also seen the other side of things, which is like, as an adult, most of the people I deal with tend to be, very wealthy individuals or very wealthy families, and so I've seen both sides of the extremes. And after seeing everything, I would say that I've never seen a single person from a poor community even remotely as mentally ill as kids from rich families. Like, you can't even compare the two.
What is mentally healthy? What is mentally healthy? And even then, just because they're reportedly mentally ill, that doesn't mean shit. For all you know, you're talking to like the most advanced doctors who are basically witch doctors at this point, and they're diagnosing their kid as anxiety disorder, orthorexia nervosa. Oh my God, he has to be. He's concerned about the quality of food he's eating. Never mind the fact that he actually has food, right? Like shit that actually has nothing to do with your actual like state of mind, like you're schizophrenic and you're seeing things that aren't fucking there, right? I think there's a higher level of diagnosis. Keep going.
Your parents might be disappointed in you. You multiply that by 1 billion, and now you understand what it's like to grow up as a rich kid. So, again, I'm saying this as someone who's been to the extremes of both ends. You just can't compare the two. Like, I would absolutely, if I had to start life over again, I would absolutely choose to start again in a super poor community and live in a poor community for the rest of my life, than to have to start life in a rich community and deal with all the pressures and consequences.
But why? Why are rich kids so miserable and mentally ill? Stay dangerous, and let's find out.
They're not fucking mentally ill. They're just fucking diagnosed. There's a difference. He doesn't really even go into the mental illness bullshit. He doesn't even get into that. He says like he's just trying to keep up with the Joneses. See, I didn't like the comment you said about them glowing in the dark. Now you got pirates making a comeback. Fuck. It all makes sense now, doesn't it, Armando? Keep going.
To understand that by just being alive right now, you are already one of the richest people in history.
Most of us, technically, we're wealthier than most of human history, simply by the fact that most of us have access to clean water, to a wide range of foods, we have electricity, we have, we have air conditioning, heating, like all these random things that we take for granted. That, by definition, would make us wealthier than most humans that have ever existed.
And yet, although we are technically filthy rich compared to our ancestors, we don't feel rich because all of this is normal to us. And that's exactly what it's like for rich kids growing up. The mansions, the cars, the clothes, the fancy sports and black tie events. This is their normal growing up. And because it was their normal growing up, they have no idea of the rich. Growing up, they don't view themselves as anything special. They just look at their rich friends and their parents' rich friends, and they just assume that the entire world is like that.
My dad brought us up, always telling us we were poor.
I was fairly average. I didn't know my dad had a lot of money until I turned 15. I didn't always know I was rich. I know it sounds a little strange to say that, but growing up in the country, I just thought that everybody had carriages and horses and stuff like that. I mean, what did I do to earn the kind of money I'll own at midnight tonight? All I did was inherit it.
I mean, growing up, everything just seems normal. You go to a museum, you're like, yeah, that's me, that's my family, And don't you have a family museum? My mom had never really been on the subway. I took her on the other day, and she was like, whoa, this is cool. other people should do this.
And although it may sound like they're just so out of touch, well yeah, that is exactly the point. If you grew up without knowing any other way of life, you wouldn't have anything to compare your lifestyle to. How would you have any idea that things could be different for other people? The answer is you wouldn't. And you won't find out until you graduate from your bubble and you get pushed out into the real world where you're forced to actually make something out of yourself. And that's when you get a giant slap in the face.
And then you go out into the real world, and you're told that you now need to make your own money. And very quickly you realize that it's incredibly difficult to make the kind of money that your parents made or your grandparents made. And now you went from what was normal to you to now feeling like you're in extreme poverty compared to what you're used to.
What do you think? What would you do if you lost all your money?
I don't know. It's kind of like, well, I'm not going to compare it to that, but it is in the same way, like the idea of losing a parent or a sibling.
And now you're in this extremely insecure situation where, like, imagine for anyone watching, like, if you suddenly went from your existing situation and your existing comforts to going into living in the woods, basically, for the next 2 years by yourself.
Who the fuck plays lacrosse? Who the fuck plays lacrosse? I mean, you and I fence, right? But that's like glorified beating people with sticks.
Why would the rich people threaten to kick them out of the home? Like, are their parents threatening to kick them out or what?
Well, that's another thing that's an assumption. Like, I would imagine once you have a mansion, the mansion's big enough for everybody, right?
I mean, people make this observation, but none of Trump's kids seem to have this problem. They seem very well adapted.
Yeah, it's almost like they take care of each other, right? They have like a family ranch. I mean, if I had a ranch, let's say, I'd let my parents stay on it. I'd let my kids stay on it. I'd let my grandkids stay on it.
And depending on how you look at it, is Trump like second generation rich because his dad was kind of wealthy?
I think he's probably second generation rich, which, guess what? I hate to say this to Melania, or not Melania, I guess it'd be Barron Trump. Wealth doesn't last 3 generations. So, brace for impact, I guess.
Or at least be aware of that and actually take some good investments or something.
Well, here's the problem. He's in 2023 or 2024.
Well, I mean, anyone can take advantage of those situations. You gotta take care of yourself.
Yep.
Kind of a mixed feelings is mostly a sad one where you're grateful, but then now you feel like a failure, so you end up feeling guilty a lot of the time, and you also feel like you're in some sort of rush to now get rich quick. And
I gotta be like my parents. I got like it's like the whole George W. Bush syndrome. People say, no, I have to be as good as my dad. I have to prove to my dad that I'm good.
I have to show make Daddy proud of me.
Oh, Bill Gates. Apparently, he's the third Bill Gates, and he comes from 3 generations of wealth. He's like, I have to change the world. I have to save the world. I gotta make the world eat bugs.
Which again, there's a reason why these bastards take up philanthropy, so they could basically look like they're doing something good, and that way they could feel accomplished. There's a reason why these people are so attracted to social justice.
Mm-hmm.
Given that weird dynamic of extreme guilt and this heavy rush, you just keep running on a treadmill and you never actually get anywhere in life.
I did a portrait for Princess Gail Jordan, Evangeline Theocopolis, Alexander von Furstenberg. I just did one of Alex and Felicia von Furstenberg. This one is very sort of Basquiat.
What does that say?
I will spend the rest of my life trying to live up to ideals I don't think I can.
And then they start pressuring you to actually marry someone that they think is also high status, which again creates a weird pressure on you.
Prenup drilled into my head since I was 5 years old. Prenup.
That becomes a huge contentious part, in most rich families, I would say, is like who you end up marrying. And overall, the actual day-to-day experience, though, is one where the rich kid himself or herself just feels like a nobody. And some of them, might end up blaming their parents, or oftentimes their grandparents. And you see this with Luke Skywalker. But because they feel so insecure and they feel like such a nobody, it might turn into enough anger where they want to scapegoat their parents or scapegoat whoever it is in the family that made them rich.
And the perfect example of this is from a documentary called Born Rich, which you've been seeing throughout this video. Highly recommend. Born Rich was made by a rich kid named Jamie Johnson.
I hope I don't get busted by this documentary. And even then, who gives a fuck with Born Rich?
And the one thing his family
hated
the most was talking about money. But because Jamie Johnson probably had similar feelings to what Arvid just described, Jamie Johnson needed to rebel. He needed to figuratively kill his father. And so he produced a documentary exposing what it's actually like to be born rich.
So I was just kind of a mess. I was weird. I mean, some of my friends tell me about how I used to just go off in the woods and climb up to the very top of a tree and sort of make weird noises and scare people.
I mean, the first time I tried LSD was this summer.
We are on the 68th floor. Okay, ready for me to look totally retarded?
Needless to say, his family and the other families he exposed were not very happy.
And honestly, for the parents, they're not mentally doing okay either. They're losing it in terms of making sure that they're not failures as parents. So most of the parents of rich kids, I've never really met one that doesn't feel like a complete failure on some level, because they feel like it was their responsibility to ensure that their kid was high achieving and successful, and they invested all this time and energy and money into it. But let's say the kid ends up like a normal functioning person in society. That to them implies that they did a bad job compared to these other rich parents where their kids ended up, let's say, going into the family business and becoming even wealthier. And those parents, which you see in the TV shows, they really are going to these stupid parties and bragging and all this nonsense. Usually, it's not a fun situation for for anyone involved in stuff. You'll oftentimes find this like lawsuit cases with these multi-billion-dollar families, and they're suing each other for like 10, 20 years. They just don't stop suing each other. Like the family internal conflict is huge, especially when the
oh yeah, they're like the Lannisters. They're like the Lannisters from fucking Game of Thrones. They're like, we have all this money and all this, and of course, before you know it, like they're fucking each other, quite literally in this regard.
Large enough to where it can spread across many people. The conflict that ends up happening is almost unbelievable. It's like, much crazier than anything you'd see in TV shows or movies.
What I find interesting is what you said, if you grow up in an absolutely poor family, like literally anything you do above that, your parents will be super, super proud of you. But if you grow up in a rich family, then it's practically impossible to get.
And you don't know the guy on the left was used to be president of the Wolf of Wall Street companies.
Which doesn't mean jack squat, because even if he was the president, that doesn't mean anything.
Well, no, I just want to give context, because not only that, but he's also Jake Trent's mentor in making his video content.
Get higher than them.
Yeah, and they want you to somehow, start back from zero and then climb up and then go higher. It's like it's a functionally impossible situation. So it's almost guaranteed that, if you're the kid of really wealthy parents, like, you're likely going to have a lot of mental issues. They end up being extremely insecure people, usually. They act really weird. I'm not, a fan of dealing with most. Some of them are very nice people. I genuinely like them, but I haven't found that they're, like, in any way evil. It's just they tend to be very insecure individuals. They never kind of mentally feel like they're worthy or they've accomplished enough, and it's kind of a sad thing.
Okay, but even if they're super insecure and depressed and lonely, they gotta end up successful, right? That's gotta be a guarantee, right? Well, not quite.
Not quite. You know what's funny? I had again, this is coming from a guy from the Silicon Valley, so technically I'm richer than most of you fuckers. Just by going through someone's trash and garbage, I'll find like a Model M IBM keyboard, which is like $100. Then I go through another garbage, I find a Blade server or something like that. So there's a lot of stuff out there. Like, even if I was, the parents of a fucking florist and a gardener, I still was technically rich just by being in proximity of these fucking people, right? But when it comes to like the neuroses and shit like that, I've seen more fucking crazy kids out there who just survive because daddy's money, okay? And the key word is survive. They're not thriving. They're definitely surviving, all right? Their food, their groceries, everything's paid for. But the only thing that matters now is, the fact that they have a, should we say it? Getting hiccups again. They have no drive. They have no hustle. In fact, they're like a grizzly bear or a lion that's been caged, so to speak. It's a violent animal. Don't get me wrong, a dangerous animal even, but it doesn't know how to survive in the wild. I do. Keep going.
Do rich kids have like a higher likelihood of success in general compared to if you grew up poor or whatever? Like, what's the general outcome of the rich kids? Like, do they end up successful?
So on average, what happens is that they're really well taken care of through the private school system. So they tend to go to the most elite private schools, and they have, even for the SAT, they have tutors that they pay $1,000 an hour for. They have very sort of elite access to things, and especially elite access to knowledge that allows them to get into elite universities. And on top of that, if they have enough family connections, or if their family's that wealthy that they donate to the universities, they're almost guaranteed to get into a top university. Now, once they're at the elite university, the problem is they're just like everybody else. Like, they're just some normal person.
Because at the end of the day, no matter how elite of an education you get, if you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, the chances of you having the same drive and motivation as the patriarch of your family when he was poor is close to a fat zero.
So they try to go into Wall Street, they try to go into consulting, they might try to go into tech, but something where, they can get a job and feel high status.
Tywin Lannister, you are not, good sir. You are not Tywin Lannister. You are just a fucking midget who's oversexed and probably on drugs all the time. Or that, or you're fucking your sister. That's basically what it is. And I've seen this type of shit happen. I've seen more people who care more about keeping up with the Joneses than they do actually, training their kids to basically produce value and whatnot.
I think there needs to be like a humbling, like, my son might not be like me. I can only hope that my son will be like me.
Yeah, exactly. And the problem here is that, there never will be like you, because you are you. There's no one else who's going to be like you. You're literally the only person in the world is like you. Quite literally in this regard. But I think we're going to end it here. I've been going on for about an hour or so, and I'm kind of losing steam, so to speak. Luke, any final thoughts?
I think I have one, if I can just get the video up here. Where'd I put you? Here we go.
Alright.
Sure, sir was blinking at me. Is this because your date is a freak? No. Very good then. Bon appetit.
What's that from?
The end of Red Flag music video.
Oh. I've never seen that.
I opened with it.
Alrighty, man. Well, see you later, guys. Take care of one another. Be good to one another. Mitch, I will contact you via Twitter. And Luke, we were going to have to get him on at some point to talk about the whole bullshit that's going on in Eurasia, so to speak. Or whatever he wants to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, be good to one another. Take care. Remember, saving the West is a side quest. This is